Greetings, guys. Much love to all. You're here once again with Shelter in the Storm and A Course in Miracles lesson 132. All right. Tonight we are finishing off part 2 of chapter 8, and that is called The Difference Between Imprisonment and Freedom. We have said that the Holy Spirit teaches you the difference between pain and joy. That is the same as saying He teaches you the difference between imprisonment and freedom. You cannot make this distinction without Him, because you have taught yourself that imprisonment is freedom, believing them to be the same. How can you tell them apart? Can you ask the part of your mind that taught you to believe they are the same to teach you how they are different? The Holy Spirit's teaching takes only one direction and has only one goal. His direction is freedom, and His goal is God. Yet He cannot conceive of God without you, because it is not God's will to be without you. When you have learned that your will is God's, you could no more will to be without Him than He could will to be without you. This is freedom, and this is joy. Deny yourself this, and you are denying God His kingdom, because He created you for this. When I said, all power and glory are yours, because the kingdom is His, this is what I meant. The will of God is without limit, and all power and glory lie within it. It is boundless in strength, and in love, and in peace. It has no boundaries, because its extension is unlimited, and it encompasses all things, because it created all things. By creating all things, it made them part of itself. You are the will of God, because that is how you were created. Because your Creator creates only like Himself, you are like Him. You are part of Him, who is all power and glory, and are therefore as unlimited as He is. To what else, except all power and glory, can the Holy Spirit appeal to restore God's kingdom? His appeal, then, is merely to what the kingdom is, and for its own acknowledgement of what it is. When you acknowledge this, you bring the acknowledgement automatically to everyone, because you have acknowledged everyone. By your recognition, you awaken theirs, and through theirs, yours is extended. Awakening runs easily and gladly through the kingdom, in answer to the call for God. This is the eternal response of every Son of God to the voice for His Creator, because it is the voice for His creations and for His own extension. Okay, that's the end of part 2, chapter 8. Let us go now to our lesson 132. I loose the world from all I thought it was. What keeps the world in chains but your beliefs? And what can save the world except yourself? Belief is powerful indeed. The thoughts you hold are mighty, and illusions are as strong in their effects as is the truth. A madman thinks the world he sees is real, and does not doubt it. Nor can he be swayed by questioning his thoughts' effects. It is but their source. It is but when their source is raised to question that the hope of freedom comes to him at last. Yet is salvation easily achieved, for anyone is free to change his mind, and all his thoughts change with it. Now the source of thought is shifted, for to change your mind means you have changed the source of all ideas you think, or ever thought, or yet will think. You free the past from what you thought before. You free the future from all ancient thoughts of seeking what you do not want to find. The present now remains the only time. Here in the present is the world set free. For as you let the past be lifted and release the future from your ancient fears, you find escape and give it to the world. You have enslaved the world with all your fears, your doubts and miseries, your pain and tears, and all your sorrows press on it, and keep the world a prisoner to your beliefs. Death strikes it everywhere, because you hold the bitter thoughts of death within your mind. The world is nothing in itself. Your mind must give it meaning. And what you behold upon it are your wishes, acted out so you can look on them and think them real. Perhaps you think you did not make the world, but came unwillingly to what was made already, hardly waiting for your thoughts to give it meaning. Yet in truth, you found exactly what you looked for when you came. There is no world apart from what you wish, and herein lies your ultimate release. Change but your mind on what you think you want to see, and all the world must change accordingly. Ideas leave not their source. This central theme is often stated in the text, and must be borne in mind if you would understand the lesson for today. It is not pride which tells you that you made the world you see, and that it changes as you change your mind. It is but pride that argues you have come into a world quite separate from yourself, impervious to what you think, and quite apart from what you chance to think it is. There is no world. This is the eternal thought the Course attempts to teach. Not everyone is ready to accept it, and each one must go as far as he can let himself be led along the road to truth. He will return and go still farther, or perhaps step back a while, and then return again. But healing is the gift of those who are prepared to learn there is no world, and can accept the lesson now. Their readiness will bring the lesson to them in some form which they can understand and recognize. Some see it suddenly on point of death and rise to teach it. Others find it in experience that is not of this world, which shows them that the world does not exist, because what they behold must be the truth, and yet it clearly contradicts the world. And some will find it in this course, and in the exercises that we do today. Today's idea is true because the world does not exist, and if it is indeed your own imagining, then you can loose it from all things you ever thought it was, by merely changing all thoughts that gave it these appearances. The sick are healed as you let go all thoughts of sickness, and the dead arise when you let thoughts of life replace all thoughts you ever held of death. A lesson earlier repeated once must now be stressed again. A lesson earlier repeated once must now be stressed again, for it contains the firm foundation for today's idea. You are as God created you. There is no place where you can suffer, and no time that can bring change to your eternal state. How can a world of time and place exist if you remain as God created you? What is the lesson for today except another way of saying that to know yourself is the salvation of the world? To free the world from every kind of pain is but to change your mind about yourself. There is no world apart from your ideas, because ideas leave not their source, and you maintain the world within your mind, in thought. Yet, if you are as God created you, you cannot think apart from Him, nor make what does not share His timelessness and love. Are these inherent in the world you see? Does it create like Him? Unless it does, it is not real, and cannot be at all. If you are real, the world you see is false, for God's creation is unlike the world in every way, and as it was His thought by which you were created, so it is your thoughts which made it and must set it free, that you may know the thoughts you share with God. Release the world. Your real creations wait for this release to give you fatherhood, not of illusions, but as God in truth. God shares His fatherhood with you, who are His Son, for He makes no distinctions in what is Himself and what is still Himself. What He creates is not apart from Him, and nowhere does the Father end, the Son begin as something separate from Him. There is no world, because it is a thought apart from God, and made to separate the Father and the Son, and break away a part of God Himself, and thus destroy His wholeness. Can a world which comes from this idea be real? Can it be anywhere? Deny illusions, but accept the truth. Deny you are a shadow briefly laid upon a dying world. Release your mind, and you will look upon a world released. Today, our purpose is to free the world from all the idle thoughts we ever held about it, and about all living things we see upon it. They cannot be there. No more can we. For we are in the home our Father set for us, along with them. And we, who are as He created us, would loose the world this day from every one of our illusions, that we may be free. Begin the 15-minute periods in which you practice twice today with this: I, who remain as God created me, would loose the world from all I thought it was, for I am real, because the world is not, and I would know my own reality. Then merely rest, alert but with no strain, and let your mind in quietness be changed, so that the world is freed, along with you. You need not realize that healing comes to many brothers far across the world, as well as to the ones you see nearby, as you send out these thoughts to bless the world. But you will sense your own release, although you may not fully understand as yet that you could never be released alone. Throughout the day, increase the freedom sent through your ideas to all the world, and say whenever you are tempted to deny the power of your simple change of mind, I loose the world from all I thought it was, and choose my own reality instead. Let's release the world, guys, with lesson 132. I loose the world from all I thought it was. He's got the scissors out. She means business. You are blessed beings, indeed. I am that one you know as Jesus. This is the most challenging principle behind these teachings, is it not? That the world is not real. If God is real, the world is not real. You must understand that this is why people look at religion and say, well, if there is a God, then I do not want that God. Look at the world. Look at what is here. Look at the hungry children. Look at how religious institutions misuse their power. Look at the monetary system. Look at the environment. Look at the industries polluting this gorgeous planet. If there is a God, and God is all-powerful, then God does not exist in this place, or this God is insane. That is why people leave religions. They realize that as time goes by, this place becomes crazier and crazier. Why is it becoming crazier? Well, you all act out of accord with your natural selves. You move into urban environments. You live in little boxes surrounded by electricity. You avoid nature. You do all kinds of detrimental things to your natural state of being. You can see that other natural creatures, when humans do not imprison them, have an ease and way about them that is peaceful, even though they end in death or a predator may eat them. While they are alive and free, they have a lovely time of it. You have been riddled with distortions, intentionally so, and that is why you have strayed so far from your natural self. That is why we keep telling you to do things like eat healthily if you can. That is why we tell you to get out in daylight and moonlight and starlight. Get out in nature, because it recalibrates you a little bit each day. It recalibrates you back to a more natural place. This world, even in a healthy state, is a world of separation. You create it together, but you are not responsible for anybody else's thoughts. You are only responsible for your own mind, and it is your mind that you must see that causes you suffering. Makes up stories, creates dramas, and causes all kinds of shenanigans in your day. If you are present, purely present, not in the past or in the future, and not gossiping about anybody, then you see that most of the time you are fine. Nothing bad happens. The power of now is the most powerful place in the universe. It is the place where you decide to choose love or fear. Are you going to drift off into the fantasies in your mind about what others say, or what terrible future awaits you, or what sickness may be growing in your body? Or are you going to be present in your body, calm and peaceful, and exist in the place you are meant to be? This is the challenge that the Course sets up for you. It is important for you to understand that you create your suffering by living in an illusory world. I am that one you know as Jesus, and we will see you again tomorrow. Namaste, blessed ones. Release, release, release.